Hello again everyone. Plenty of people have asked if it's possible to replace Gilberta with Ardelia in the optimal Fluorite teams, and yes, it's possible. The biggest difference with using Ardelia though is that the rotation becomes a lot more SP hungry. Gilberta had two main roles, applying art susceptibility and a nature infliction, without a single use of SP. With Ardelia, we have to use her battle skill to turn corrosion into the susceptibility, and we have to apply the first nature infliction with Fluorite's battle skill instead. Because of that, Akekuri basically becomes mandatory to help us get enough SP to complete the rotation. With all of that out of the way though, let's get straight into it. For weapons, Wedge is the best DPS option, even beating a P5 Clannable thanks to the crits. Clannable and Opus though are your next best options if you don't have a Wedge. This is the setup I run most because the extra ult gain from Bone Crush heavy armor helps in boss speedruns. But if you want, you can run MI security armor for even more damage. The art intensity from the power bank pieces are very good on Fluorite, since she's one of the only characters in the game that can do 3 arts bursts in a very short amount of time. For Xaihi, she can run Stanza or Chivalric. Detonation unit could also work to increase her intellect, but because of the specific rotation that we're using, we're not going to be applying too much cryo. And because of that, Stanza becomes a better option compared to detonation unit. This setup provides us with the most intellect while also maximizing our ult gain. If your Stanza is maxed out on the intellect boost, Frontier's armor tier 3 actually gives us more intellect, but we do lose out on a good amount of ult gain and I don't really recommend it. For Ardelia, Starry Beach is our go-to weapon since the arts damage taken debuff is really nice, especially if you're not running with Perlica. As for gear, we run Eternal Zero Night with a bunch of ult gain pieces. We could swap out the armor for Tidefall light armor for even more ult gain, or one of the kits to the Hot Work power cartridge for more art intensity, making our corrosion even stronger. It doesn't matter as much with this specific team though, since we overwrite her corrosion with Fluorite anyways. Since Fluorite is built with art intensity, her corrosion will be stronger than Ardelia's. For Akekuri, she runs Thermite Cutter for the attack buffs. She gets 2 full stacks of Thermite Cutter after every combo skill or ultimate, which makes it a very solid weapon. If you want to maximize her ult gain to get ultimate more often, you can run Fort Maker, you just lose out on a good amount of damage buffs. For gear, we use Frontiers for even more damage buffs and maxing out her intellect for her combo skill SP regen. We could also use Fort Maker as her weapon and use random ult gain pieces to get her ultimates more often, but that's personal preference to you. You will lose out on a good amount of buffing in exchange for more SP. Now let's talk about the rotation. We start off the rotation like usual. Xaihi battle skill out of combat to regain the SP, and we prepare a final strike before dodging. After this final strike, Ardelia's combo skill triggers and we use it. After a short delay, this applies corrosion as we do another final strike. This will trigger Xaihi's combo skill and we use it to apply cryo, followed by Ardelia's battle skill to convert corrosion into art susceptibility. If she's using Starry Beach, this also applies an arts damage taken debuff. Next, we use Fluorite's battle skill and get Wedge's first arts damage buff. Before it pops, we use Xaihi's ultimate to gain nature amp. If she's using Stanza, we also gain an attack buff. Ardelia's ultimate doesn't really give us any buffs. It should be used for 2 main reasons, either for extra healing or stagger. We use it here to help stagger Rodon and keep him there so that we can deal all of our damage without triggering the cutscene too early. After triggering corrosion, we get Wedge's second arts damage buff and Hot Work set effect. We use Fluorite's battle skill here to apply our first nature infliction as we continue doing final strikes for more SP. You may notice Ardelia's combo skill popping up. Try not to use it yet because Fluorite's corrosion is stronger than Ardelia's thanks to our arts intensity. We apply one last Fluorite battle skill and immediately use Akekuri's ultimate. If you did everything correctly, you should have corrosion, art susceptibility, slow, and arts damage taken debuffs on the enemy. We also have a nature infliction here for Fluorite's full nuke. As for buffs, we should have Xaihi's nature amp, Xaihi's battle skill amp, Eternal Zero Night's damage bonus, Wedge's first and second arts damage buff, Stanza's attack buff, Hot Work set effect, Akekuri's potential 3 attack buff, Thermite Cutter's 2 stacks of attack buffs, and Akekuri's link buff. Now that we have all our buffs, it's time for the big dopamine hit. We use Fluorite's ultimate to pop the battle skill early, and follow it up with a combo skill and do 3 arts bursts. Whenever Akekuri's combo skill pops up, you're free to use it as long as it's not right before she needs to use ultimate. We can now use Ardelia's combo skill here because by the time that it pops and triggers another set of corrosion, we should already be done doing damage with Fluorite. Lastly, we use Xaihi's battle skill and combo skill to clear the nature inflictions and restart the rotation. If you're using ult gain food on Fluorite and Akekuri, you should be able to go straight into another nuke rotation. I'm not using any food buffs in this video though, so instead I do another rotation just without their ultimates. You will notice that I'm running into SP issues even with Akekuri. I recommend using a couple final strikes in between rotations, that way you can regain some SP since Ardelia's rotations are very SP hungry. And that's the full rotation. Using Ardelia will definitely feel clunkier than Gilberta, but it's still playable as long as you manage your SP properly. Now here's the full rotation in real time, just with the skill order at the top.
Long enough. Attention.
And that's it for the rotation guide. If I want to be fully transparent with you, the Ardelia version of this team is much more difficult to use because of how demanding the SP usage is. And the downside is that you won't deal as much damage compared to Gilberta. With this amount of effort, it'll probably be better to just use a different team entirely or to pull for Tong Tong since she seems like a great alternative to Gilberta if you didn't roll for her. But yeah, the next few videos will be me going back and speedrunning the other bosses and maybe even a theory crafting video on Tong Tong as well for general teams like Yvonne's team, Last Right's team, etc. With all of that being said, thank you all so much for watching. Max out your Fluorites. Goodbye.